and it's mostly a men's group, and they'll all look at me and think that I'm the breadwinner or the person that's, rocking it. Nope. It's been Margaret this whole time. This kind of stems to another issue that got me here, but is not going to get me there. And this is a big one, which is, and I don't, maybe you know a better way to word it, but like that I haven't been paying myself what I should be. The business is doing well, and very grateful for any supporters of Pluck, really feeling the love and feeling the effects of how Pluck is affecting people's lives. I'm hearing and I'm receiving that, and it's incredibly moving. I now need to kind of value that in myself more. And so I think it's really good because it's also, that's been putting a lot of weight on your shoulders all these years as we let my business kind of grow and get to a place where it could pay me appropriately. And hopefully my stepping more into this is going to relieve some of that burden from you. It's really interesting, y'all. So we'll go to these entrepreneurial events or retreats, and there'll be all these very titans of their business, just very successful people. And it's mostly a men's group, and they'll all look at me and think that I'm the breadwinner or the person that's, rocking it. Nope. It's been Margaret this whole time. She's the one that's been running 2 to 3 businesses, 7-figure plus businesses, just doing so much really since Sasha was born. That was 8 years ago. There was so much going on, and I was so depleted and done. I didn't want to take on another burden at the time because it just felt like my own health was suffering. We had a new baby. Your business was starting to pop, and you were like, well, I'm just going to dig into this, and then you be the stay-at-home dad. And I was like, okay. And then we kind of fell into that role for a very long time. But that's also during the time I got the idea for Pluck, which you also supported that direction. You continued to grow and build your business, took on another business, grow and built that, and were the main earner all those 8 years.
I'm getting a little teary-eyed right now, I'll be honest. I just thank you for the acknowledgement, because it's been a lot.
It's been a lot.
It's also what I have, I certainly signed up for it too. Regardless of the financial dynamic between the two of us, I think it's really important for you and for anyone else who's listening to this, who runs their own business, to value yourself appropriately within that business. Entrepreneurs will sacrifice themselves for the business. We hear about the big successful journeys, and we don't see the blood, sweat, and tears and all of the stuff that went into that, and the often years and years of kind of almost killing themselves to make it happen. I don't know that it has to be that way. I don't know that any of us want it to be that way. And I've watched it fill you over these last few years, just watching people learn to eat organ meats and go from ick factor to oh wow, eating it this way is absolutely delicious. Watching kids have their palates expanded, from picky eaters who don't want to eat anything. Then suddenly you get the emails back about oh my gosh, my child just ate this or ate that, and they're starting to expand their palate. I know it has filled you up in these other ways. I get a little bit on a soapbox about this when I'm supporting other practitioners, because not all of them, but a lot of them find it really hard to value themselves and value their work and charge what they're worth. We think of self-care as eating the right foods, going to bed on time, hitting the gym, meditating, journaling. And part of that self-care is financial self-care. It's taking care of ourselves and rewarding ourselves and compensating ourselves appropriately, and not sending this constant message of everything else is worth investment except me. That creates such a wild imbalance. I don't think it's sustainable. And I don't think it's accurate. It's not reflective of the reality of the business. But then it starts to become reflective of the reality of the business, right? You start to manifest that reality. And I think it requires a real paradigm shift to recognize your value and your worth, and to take care of yourself in that way as the business owner. And I'm speaking to you, but I'm also speaking to anyone who's listening who is undervaluing themselves in their business right now.
And there are multiple layers to how this plays out. And the health industry is a major culprit of this, whereas it's rare that I meet a practitioner, someone in the health field whose own health is not suffering. Yes, we need to honor ourselves financially. We need to honor our journeys, our process. But in general, it just feels like we have to be it helps to be mindful. We talk about even with our marriage, it's a choice every day. It's not like you just do it and then it's okay, this is done, so I'll move on to the other things I have to focus on or my other goals. It's like, no, it's a choice every day and you work on it every day. And that's yet another thing to be incredibly grateful for, right? We are literally doing the things that we are passionate about, and not everyone can say that.
If you enjoyed the clip from the podcast, make sure to check out the next video up here, or head over to watch the full episode down here. And before you go, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Come on. Yeah, thanks for watching.